What's up all flight simmers, it's Ole here, or Norshuttle, and welcome back to another video. Today we are in the brand new Qualitywings 787 Dreamliner, which is just a few weeks old. And today we are doing a highly requested flight. It's Rednose or Norwegian Air UK 7057 from London Gatwick to Orlando in the United States. This Dreamliner is, as I said, quite new, and I've been having great flights with it so far. I've been doing 8 legs so far, some long hauls and some short hauls, and I haven't had any issues with it so far. I know there's been reports of different CTDs and the VNAV profile not following, etc, etc. But as I said, I have had great flights with it so far. So, Rednose 7057 today. We will be expecting a flight time of around 8 hours and 30 minutes, and we will be blasting out of here out of 08 right, so that's in the distance there. And we will use the Salmon Tree Papa departure, and then we will fly over the Atlantic and then down to towards Florida and on Orlando. Been having some reports that the weather down there is rather unpleasant. Been having some reports of some thunder and yeah, thunderstorms, etc. So we might catch some good weather down there. Unfortunately, I'm not going to use the weather radar in this plane because there's been several reports of it crashing the sim. So we just have to use our own eyes and just look outside and then try to avoid if we can. But that's the flight. If you are interested in this, then I suggest you keep on watching. So let's go to Disneyland World. Alright, welcome into the beautiful 787 flight deck. We are in a cold and dark state at the moment, so we shall start by setting up the airplane from the ground up. So this plane is beautifully modeled, and I think they have done a great job making all the functions available, etc. So the first thing we have to do is open our little tool, so we can open up some doors and also use the external power. Now there's three ways of doing this. You can either do Shift 2, click on this little area here, or click on the external power button. So if I click this one, we will get this one open. So we will have external power, and we can connect those on, take on the battery, so it doesn't get drained. Going to take the nav lights on now. So now the huge displays are starting to power up, and we have power to the aircraft. We can also start opening some doors. So we can start our boarding. We can do some catering service. Then we have to open our doors here as well. Right, let's just quickly go over the overhead panel here. So we have IRS are on, we have external powers to on, APU is not on at the moment. We can take off the hydraulics, I don't know why they are on. Then we have our window heats to on. We can take the passenger lights on, we haven't started fueling yet. And landing lights are off. We can actually take off these ones as well. Anti-airs is not required, you can just leave those on auto. We have nav to on, all these lights are off, packs are on, and this one looks good. Alright, so first thing we can do is just go into our FFC to see that we have the correct AIRAC and the correct engines type, etc. So we are currently on AIRAC 1706, and we are having the 10,000 engines, which is correct. And let's do deposit it, which is already done, by the way, looks like. So we don't have to do that. Okay. I made a route in PFBX, and luckily this plane has a upload function. So we just click on request, and here we have our route, EGKK to KMCO 01. And then it just loads that in. I really love that function, even though it's probably more realistic to type it in or to use like a company route, but I like this this feature. It just saves a lot of time, really. So activate that, and we can start putting in some other numbers.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Pre-flight checklist.
Leaving out of 08 right as well. And we are doing Rednose 7057.
Must be securely stowed either under the seat in front of you
That's that.
or in an overhead bin.
Before we do the perf in it, we shall go over to the EFB, which is something special about this plane, and we shall start doing some fuel and payloads. Now, I am not a big fan of this way of loading in the payload into the aircraft. It's really not that great, to be honest. I mean, it's a good idea to have these sliders. You can decide what you want, but I shouldn't really compare this to the PMDG, but I really like that you can do it in the FMC, just load in the zero fuel weight and the fuel. That's just nitpicking, basically, just a little thought. But we have to use it. That's something we just can't forget. So, according to PFBX, we are having a release of 43.627 tons. So I will see. This is the point. You have to you can't just type in a fixed number. You can't just type in 50,000 and then leave it a day. You actually have to kind of fiddle your way around it and find the nice little number. Here we have 61,000. That's way more than we need. So we can probably take a little bit less in the tank here. So like this. Then we have 10,000 more than we need. So set fuel tanks. Now I reckon this plane goes pretty full. So we will just bump up all these numbers and then just do a little bit of cargo just to have some weight here, like so. And that's pretty much it. That's all you have to do. It works, and it's not that bad, but I just think it would have been better to just have that like a menu or something in the FMC, so you can just put it in there. But yeah, I digress. It works. Okay, then we can go on and continue with our perf in it. So they are now loaded in here. We have 53.6 here on the display here, and we can see we also have that here in the as a total fuel. So we can just add 34 as reserves, no 4 I mean. And cruise altitude for today, we are starting initially at 360. Then we will probably do some step climbs on the way. Oh, I wrote that wrong. 360. Yeah, we will go from 36 to 38, then 39, and then 400 actually, and then we will start to get down towards Orlando. No idea the cost index. I've read somewhere that they use 3.8. Probably typical Norwegian to use low cost index even on these big planes. So we will just use that. Thrust limit. That's also another feature we can do here on the EFB. We can do performance. So here we have the performance page where we can calculate our speeds for takeoff. So let's see. We are at Echo Golf Kilo Kilo, which is Gatwick. We are going out of 80 right. We have dry conditions today, and if we go into active sky, which popped up on the wrong screen, great. We have a wind of 60, if you can actually type, wind at 60 at 6. Oh, 060 at 006, how do you think it is last time? 06 and 6. There you go. And we have a outside temperature of 15 degrees, and the QNH today is 1013. And we will use the optimum For our speeds, we will use optimum for that, and flap config. I think we should use 5 today. We will see an optimum for that. So that's all we need, I think. I think that's all we have to have. Yeah, we also need the takeoff weight. So 213.4. And the CG was, if we go one page back, 28%. Like so. Calculate. So we will get a V1 speed of 153, V rotate of 155, and V2 of 162. And I think we need a external program to use the selected temperature, so we will just do full toga today. I guess that's probably wrong. I don't know, but I don't have any. I guess I could use Topcat, but yeah. That's another video. We will just leave that for now. So 162 is the one we should take in here. Here we go. And then we can, as I said, we don't have any selected temperatures. We'll just go with takeoff and climb configuration. And here is, hold up, let me see. Probably put in the winds there. And since we now have done the stuff in here, we don't have to do it here. So that's actually quite neat. You can obviously do this, just send the output to FFC. Complete. You can see it now comes here, so you can just extend that. Cool. Now, that's the flight setup. Almost. What I forgot to do is to set the barometric pressure. We can take flight directors on and outer throttles on both sides. Runway heading for our runway today is now 078. Like so. And we are of course not on VATSIM today, so we can just go straight up to 360. And we can leave this one to RTO. Now, the last thing we have to do before we can start our APU and get going is to enter our departures. So we had 8 right, as I said in the beginning, and we shall scroll all the way down to Sam 3 Papa, like so. And that's basically just straight out and then around and back on track to where we are going. Okay, that's the plane pretty much set up, so we can now head back to takeoff here and then leg page here. Just make sure there's no discontinuities here. No, it's not. And then we will program the arrival once we get there. The winds might change from what it is now. So let's have big screen on this side and then small on this side, so you can just do like so. And now let's show the best feature of this airplane. It's the airport maps. Oh my god, it's so cool. So these airport maps are updated ones. So I got it from a Facebook group. It's from Mungo Spencer, you know, from Twitch, Virtual 170, and another guy, Tom, I think it was. Yeah, you will find it there. I don't have a link for it, unfortunately, but you find it there. Right, we are now ready to get out of here. So let's now start our fuel pumps, and we can start our APU. Okay, there we go. Now this plane is, as you probably heard, very, very quiet. It's barely audible. I don't know if that's wrong or something, but I mean, it's a Dreamliner. It should be, probably should be a little bit quiet. We can start closing some doors. We don't need those anymore.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have just closed the main cabin door. All personal cellular telephones must be turned off and stowed for the
Move the
duration of
jetway.
the flight. Flight attendants, prepare doors for departure, cross-check, and verify straps.
Now we should just wait for our APU to have a indication on the display. While we do that, we can enter our transport code of 2000. APU running, wonderful. So let's get rid of the external power now. Turn off that light there. So now all the doors are closed. And we are, in fact, ready to go.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome you aboard this flight on the Dreamliner. At this time, I'd like to direct your attention to the flight attendants while we review safety information about the 787. Your seatbelt should be fastened at this time. It is our policy that you keep your seatbelt fastened at all times while seated. The 8 exits on the 787 are marked with exit signs. Please locate the 2 exits nearest you, keeping in mind the nearest exits may be behind you. This aircraft has escape path lighting. A change in color or an exit sign will indicate you have reached an exit. Should oxygen be needed, the mask will appear from the compartment above your seat. If you're traveling with someone needing assistance, put on your mask first and then offer assistance. Your life vest is located in a container beneath or in some cases between your seat. If needed, inflate the vest just prior to exiting the aircraft by pulling the red tab on the front vest. A safety information card with more detailed instructions regarding this aircraft is in your seat pocket. This is a non-smoking flight. Smoking is not allowed in the cabin or lavatories. All lavatories are equipped with smoke detection systems, and federal law prohibits tampering with, disabling, or destroying these systems. As we get ready for takeoff, please help us prepare the cabin by making sure all carry-on baggage is stowed. All
Okay,
seat backs
GSX is ready. Release the parking brake.
And footrest and video monitors are stowed.
And while the
Customers are required
cabin
to
crew is
observe all
doing
posted
the
and lighted information signs and adhere to crew member
safety
instructions.
procedures,
Thank you for
we
choosing
shall
to fly
start
with
the
us. We
engines
will
pretty
be
soon.
airborne shortly.
One of the good things about this plane is that the time is automatically started when we push back.
Start engines.
Okay, we got the clear sign for starting engines. So you can start number one.
Okay, starting engines.
And this plane is exactly like the 777. Just start it up and it will work. Pretty much simple same layout of the 777. So I think they're actually same type ratings as well. When I think about it, which is really cool. So as you can now hear, it's very, very quiet. I can almost I can whisper. So we can start our right engine now, or engine number 2. And let's get outside and just listen to it and mostly spool up. Beautiful. Now hopefully GSX will pull us in the right direction. Hopefully it's over there, and then we can just start taxiing. Hopefully. Just wait for the there we go. There's the tick out, and then we can start number 2. And then it's just the same procedure at that one as well. Wait for it to rise a little bit. Then you can give it some fuel. Now today I am on Project Fly. I've really started flying Project Fly more and more these days, as it's a simple program and it has all the routes you possibly want, and I mean it's great. Okay, so GSX stopped us here for some reason, so we can just put our parking brake, and we can now see that our engine 1 is coming up nicely, and yeah, we should just wait for the trucks to disconnect, then we can start to do the flaps and all of those other stuff. You can probably hear the little the howling sound in the background, which is typical for the 787. I mean, I think the sounds in this plane is spot on, so that is really cool. One thing I can see right away now is you can probably see here that the runway on the display is wrong, or like they are. This is the runway on the map, but this is the runway. Yeah, so it's probably a little bit inaccurate. But never mind. Okay, they have disconnected. Let's start our hydraulic pumps. We plan on doing flap 5 today. Left is clear and right is clear, they say. And you should have a great day, even though I hate you very much. Yes, goodbye. Okay, we have flap 5 set. Let's just have a look at the wing. Beautiful. And while we're here, we can do the flight control check. So full right, full left, full back, full forward. We can do the rudders, full right and full left, and the speed brake. Like, just look at the details there. Simply stunning. And last thing we need to do is put our trim, which is only 4 today. No, 3.25 I mean. So that's pretty low actually. I guess that's correct. There we go, 325. Okay, we have successful starts on both engines. And we have set flaps to 5, and we can start to taxi. So we will now head down here, then turn right here, and then go all the way down to the runway, which is this one right here. We are now here, coming down here, all the way down Juliet, and get down to the runway. I think one of the biggest things I am most impressed over with this plane, even though we now are at only UK 2000, is just how good frames this plane produces. You've probably seen the film from JFK when I took off from there. I mean, JFK is a pretty heavy airport on FPS, but I had really great FPS with the Dreamliner. I don't know what it is, but they just done it in a perfectly good way. So what we are doing now is something I've actually seen it quite a lot now. I assume it's quite normal, and that is they taxi down 8 left and 26 right. So they use this runway to taxi, because I obviously don't think they use that in real world, like for real planes. I mean, maybe small ones. So we are actually going down the runway instead, you know, just for fun. And since we are now running on our own engines, we can turn off the APU. We don't need it anymore. Now this plane has pretty powerful engines, in this case the Trent 1000s, and it's really just very easy to get going. You actually don't have to do any. You actually don't have to put any power in. You can just release the parking brake, and then it will start slowly to roll. Like now, I have barely any power in, and just, you know, see it can start rolling faster and faster and faster. Our tail hero today is Roald Dahl, a famous British storyteller, which is also half Norwegian. Written loads of good books. One of my favorites, which is called in Norwegian SVK, Store vennlige kjempe, Great Friendly Giant. One of the greatest stories he's ever made. And it's also made Matilda, which is also a great one. We are in Golf Charlie Juliet Uniform Lima today, which is then based here in the United States, even in the United Kingdom, as Norwegian and UK. I've been reading some stuff that Norwegian is going to put most of their Dreamliners back to Norwegian registries, LN, due to Brexit. So that's really interesting, to be honest. I mean, I guess it's a little bit less cheaper. I don't know. Okay, so we are now slowly but nicely approaching our runway. We are going to go all the way down today. We have 162 as a V2 speed, so just in case. And since we now know where we're going, you can just take the range out a little bit.
Please be seated for departure.
And we will make sure only to use terrain today, nothing else. One of also the greatest features on this plane is if you go to menu and then click on this one, which is virtual situation display, you will get a sort of nice plan of how the flight is looking. Okay, we will now continue all the way down. And we can do a quick check of everything before we are going. So we have set our speeds, heading is okay, our altitude is okay, and we have our auto brake to RTO. And once we approach the runway, we will do landing lights and strobes and take off the taxi light. Why is the logo light on? It's bright today, or is light even daylight today? So we shall make a left turn here now. You can see 08 right is identified on the sign here. And both sides are obviously okay since there are no traffic today. So we can start our landing lights, strobes and taxi lights to off. Notify the cabin. Okay, here we are in right on 08 right. So we are actually ready to go. So I just think we should get going. So time is, or the clock is, as I said, just going automatically. So it will start when we lift off. So what we can do now is simply do 50%. And then, as on the PMDG, we have a toggle button on this screw. So just click this.
Check for us.
Okay, airspeed is alive, and we now have around 82 on the engines.
80 knots.
Checked.
Checked. 1.
Rotate.
V2.
Easy rotate. Positive rate, gear up.
Positive rate.
Gear up.
Now it's actually getting foggy already, so we actually have to
Autopilot on.
take our
Autopilot in command.
autopilot on already, unfortunately. And we can take all the flaps in. Now we shall see then if the plane actually can turn this little turn here, or this sharp turn here, without, you know, messing up. Okay, it's starting to go down. Why is it doing that? Let's just do the simple old fix here. It's really funny when I say I don't have had any problems with this plane, and now it just starts to do stupid stuff. Oh, isn't it typical? But it looks like it's actually making the turns rather well now. Usually it will just go way outside the blue circle and just like start being a dick and go outside. But I guess that's not an issue now. Transition altitude in the United Kingdom is 6,000 feet. But as we are not on maximum, we are obviously cleared above that. Now let's just make this turn here before we engage VNav again. As you can see now, this is the example. See, it goes, it's almost like it turns a little bit too late. Okay, let's engage VNav. And turn around our heading. And we can go direct SAM, so we don't have to... Oops. There we go. So here you can see, this is a great thing, you can see where you like will approach, or obviously you can see it on the display, but you can see how the VNav profile is going, how steep you're going to climb. Now I'm not sure if this is really realistic, that it just like climbs like a rocket in the sky. I guess this is a very full performance plane. With really powerful engines. My sim just froze. There you go. I mean, it's keeping up the speed pretty good, so I guess it's realistic. Take the standard pressure now to rotate the pressure to standard, and we can actually just take off the seat belts now as we are approaching 9,000 feet. We can take off the lights as well. Alright, there's 10,000 feet. We are finally up in the air after that rather interesting departure. I realized that the flight plan was a little bit weird. It like went up and then down and then up again. I guess that's probably just a wrong waypoint or something. I don't know. But we fixed it pretty easily.
The use of approved portable electronic devices is now permitted.
So now it's basically just to start climbing and get up to our cruise level, which is 360 today initially. There is really not much more to say about that. So with that in mind, I shall leave you for some cinematic shots. So enjoy that. And if you're still around, then I hope you enjoyed it so far. And then I look forward to getting on towards Orlando. So I'll see you soon. Alright, flight simmers, welcome back to the sim. We've now soon passing the 8-hour mark on our clock since we left Gatwick in the United Kingdom. And as you can see, we are now slowly approaching 18,000 feet, which is the transition altitude for the United States of America. We have now planned our arrival into Orlando, and we shall go through that quickly. But before that, let me show you a page even that I use quite often actually. This is windy.com. It's simply a page of the or a map of the world showing the current winds that's in the world right now. Actually, it's real time. So we are heading into Orlando, which is in Florida. Here it is, and you can see that we are having winds from the south. So that means that we are going to land on the runways I had planned for initially, which is 18 right. Pretty simple, so that is just a straight in landing. So we have 18 right here, and we are going through it's actually the city called Bithlow, but we have the Bithlow 7 arrival, but we will now go just straight in, as you can see here. We are aiming for 2200 at Tuffe, which then will give us onto the ILS for 18 right. Parking at airside 4 today, so we will have some taxi on the way, and that shouldn't be a problem. Oh, look at that! Active Sky is, as you probably know, a great add-on. Can't fly without it. Talking about Active Sky, this is the weather for Orlando at the moment. We have having thunderstorms today, so we should definitely get some interesting weather in there. Hopefully we will get down in one piece. We have a temperature of 24 degrees or 75 Fahrenheit for you Americans. We have a surface wind of 190 at 6. Visibility looks to be good though. We have some light rain, and we have a pressure of 29.99 inches. So we will hopefully see the True Glass in action today, and hopefully we will get good frames as well. We are landing into Taxi2Gate Orlando, so we are definitely in good hands, as that's a good airport indeed. Now, I am really tempted to click on this weather button, but as you probably know, there's been reports of it crashing the sim, and since we are this close to the airport, I simply can't dare. Now this plane has working HUD displays. You saw I popped them out accidentally there. Actually, my view isn't aligned. There it is. Personally, I think it's just in the way of the field of view, or the window itself. I like to you have these big screens anyway, so why just don't use those instead? That's probably just me though. I'm gonna just take them off for now. Okay, we are now approaching 10,000 feet pretty quickly, and I can see that we have a pretty high speed. So let's start getting that down. Let's just do 240 for now. Then we can rip up our speed brake, as we have some interesting winds, which is throwing us all over the place. There's the rain. We probably will be a little bit on and off, and then probably on once we get down there. There's another lightning. And there you have a good selling point on why you should get SKYFORCE. It's right here in the frame now. Just the sounds, the thunderstorms, and just how the environment is modeled. Really, really great. And then I can see the wing flex as well. Qualitywings has done a great job on this plane. I really think they have. It certainly does have some bugs, but I mean those are just minor for what you get. Like the overall experience is just great. And the great thing about this plane is that it's very easy to control. So our speed is now down pretty quick. Obviously, I think the speed limit is 250 under 10,000. I guess it varies, but we'll just do that for now. You can see the altitude is struggling a little bit, but I think we are good for now. Now, before we enter 10,000 feet, let's just check the ILS pretty quick. So let's see, 18 right is here. So yeah, this is Tuffe, which is the last point. Then we will get like into here, probably touch Hammy and then Tuffe and then into 18 right. And for our go-around altitude, we have 4,000 feet. Out to Cambay if we have to go around. And we have a decision altitude of 294. So let's put that in now before we forget it. No. And since we can't do odd numbers, we have to do, I think, let's just do 290. Okay, that's 10,000 feet. On with the landing lights. I will also do low gun wing just to be sure. And while I'm doing that, let's bring out our HOTAS system. Oh, you can see it's struggling now. I don't know why it's stalling though. That's a little bit weird. I am really hoping we are getting down here in one piece. We shall see. The weather is not looking that good at the moment. I gotta be honest. Okay, I might actually be a pussy now, and I want to do outer brake 2 just in case. You never know. Okay, what I want to do now is actually I'm not sure if that's actually going to help, because the wind is going to push us all directions anyway, so it's going to struggle to maintain that altitude. And the speed is going up. I haven't kept that on track either. Let's just get down to 220 now and just be, you know, on the safe side, so we won't mess up on the on the finals there. Jesus Christ, this is really hoping we are getting down in one piece here. Get some speed brakes out here. Speed is quite high now. That's not very good. So we might actually even out a bit and then just chill out. Okay, 1,500. Okay, we are going way too fast now. Okay, looks like he's struggling to, like, you know, get up. So what we will do now is just even out. You can probably see the runway lights over there. Yeah, you can see the airport here. So what I will do now is I want to just hold at 3000 right now. Or 4 even. Because we need to slow down. And let's just do heading select. And then just do a simple circle. Just so we can slow down. Jesus Christ, this weather is interesting, to say it at least. Out there now to 300. Holy crap. Okay, that's 4000. Careful now. Oh god. Oh. Now this is probably not by the book at all. So I'm really interested to see how this is going to go. Okay. Okay, so we have flap 1 limit at 260. So let's just be a little crazy and put that now, just to, you know, increase all the drag we can possibly get. Now it's going now. Let's just keep it at 200 now. That's probably a good idea to do when it's bad weather, to be, you know, slow down way earlier than you have to. I guess that's probably a good idea. Well, now the speed is coming nicely down now. I don't want you down. Get out there. We have flap 5 at 240, so we can actually do that as well. And 15. Ah, there you see. Awesome. To their upright and stowed position. Okay, let's now turn this direction so we can vector ourselves back. Just the immersion, the 787 immersion, and the rain, and the thunder, and this. Oh, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. I love this hobby for a reason, you know. It's quite good. But it unfortunately comes at a price. And I will not dare to think about how much money I have spent on this simulator. Get explained, they said. I probably should have listened a little bit earlier. Okay, now we're going to turn to the right now to get back to Taffy or Tuffy. Do 180 now. And just so we have it in our heads, we are doing 146 plus 5, so 151 for our final speed. We will just keep the speed brake in now until we align ourselves with the runway. As you can see, it's now struggling still to turn. And then we can just cancel flap 15, and we can start descending to 222 now. Just hoping now that we will get down there in one piece. Maybe the weather is too bad that we actually have to go somewhere else. Why are you saying we are stalling? We are not stalling. Maybe we are losing speed too quick, I guess. Runway heading is 180 or 185 even. So let's just set that now. And in case we have to, you know, go around. Let's just get the gear down. I'm bringing some more flaps.
Flight attendants, please be seated for arrival.
We'll get our speeds down to 118, 160 even, and keep our speed brakes in, just, you know, to be sure. Okay, we can now chill out on the altitudes. We are good on it for now. Okay, let's take in the speed brake, arm it. So lights are on, we have our seat belts to on, speed brakes are armed, auto brake is to 2. And we should take it to 4,000 after we've gotten established on the ILS, which we will hopefully do if this thing will shut up. See, we already have our. I think that's the glide slope and that's the localizer. So we are perfect on the glide or the glide even. This is so bizarre. I'm feeling I'm doing something wrong here. Maybe the plane isn't comfortable with what I'm doing, as we're also keeping a pretty high pitch. Keeping a pitch of almost 10, which is probably not healthy. I don't want that one. Let's set flap 20 now. And let's just
25 sync rate.
Oh, keep it there. Come on, keep it there. Oh, this approach has been a mess. So just if you can keep. Why are you going down? Is it because of the ILS or something? I'm pretty sure the 777 wouldn't have done this, to be quite fair. Although I am not a pilot myself, so I might be wrong. 146.5, just put that in now. And do flap 25, which is our final one. Oh yeah, it does it because the arrow is falling underneath the red one. That's what it is. Okay, so that's probably not that bad in the end then. Pretty soon now we will see the localizer start to get on moving, so we can get aligned with the runway, and hopefully, I really hope we won't have to do autoland, because the autoland is known to be a little bit weird. Eventually like stalling the plane or like slamming it into the ground, but we shall see. Just turn this a little bit more now, just so we can get onto this this glide path there. The speed's good, gear is out, and we have flap 25. So all we have to do now is just vector ourselves in, and then hopefully catch the glide. Hopefully this one will start moving in a couple of seconds. And we have our normal freeze. There we go. Now start our turn back to 185. And why are you freezing so much? Please. Okay, wow, there we go. Now we're seeing they are starting to move, so that is great. Now hopefully I didn't turn that late. We are on the approach button, so it should really figure out this itself. So the airport should be in somewhere around here, I guess. Okay, perfect. So now we are getting on to the glide perfectly, and we are now holding 2200 until Tufa. And then we will get down. Piece of cake, right? Oh. Oh, and the fog is coming in as well. That is perfect, isn't it? Luckily we are on project line, so if we slam it, it won't count. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is probably what you came for, just to see me like fail at the landing. Because what we can see now is basically just two lights flashing, and I don't know what that is. It's probably the executive airport, which is just above Tufa. That's probably what it is. Okay, let's just run through the stuff again. So we are now set at 151, heading is 185, 2200. We will change that to 4000 once we've established. All lights are on. We have our seat belts on. Speed brakes are armed. Auto brakes are to 2, and our go-around altitude, or the position altitude, is 294. So we have set it to 290. And we have just refresh the barrel here. It's great. 2999. And that, my friends, is probably the runway we are going into, hopefully. Ah, it's clearing up. Beautiful. So now we have catched it. Perfect. Let's head this one back to 4,000 feet. And my god, did it turn out great. Probably horribly wrong in the procedure of getting down, but hey, every landing you can walk away from is a good one. Isn't that what you say? Okay, just to be sure here, I will just keep this stable approach for some seconds more, or minutes even. And then I am actually going to land this. I mean, we can see the runway. The checklist is already done. I realized we haven't done the checklist. This has a checklist system as well as the other planes, these ones. But as you probably have understood by now, I've obviously skipped it. Look at that. Oh, that's so beautiful. Imagine just having the weather radar on and like red everywhere. Oh,
1,000.
would have been so cool though to check that, or to have that. I mean, check for the 1,000. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, shall we do this? All right, let's do it. I have control. Now, luckily, the Dreamliner is pretty easy to steer manually. It's almost like a Cessna when you fly it. So now we will just have to focus on the touchdown zone here. And the frames are, I guess, usable.
500.
Alright, let's do this. Getting a little too high here now, so we just
400.
dive a little.
300. Approaching minimums.
Let's go good.
Minimums.
Continue. Awesome.
100.
Let's flare this baby down. Simple. Easy. Oh, come on.
40. 30. 20.
Oh, this is probably a go around, but hey ho.
10.
Oh, get down. Oh, this is go around material, but we are gonna brake and reverse. Oh. 17 knots. And damn it, we missed our exit point. Alright then, let's just roll down the runway then. It started so great with the takeoff and the cruise, and then we just get down here and just screw everything up. I should have probably gone around. That's something I admit right away. But hey, we chose AIRAC 2 for a reason, and And we got down safe with loads of runway left. Okay, let's just chill out here now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will be taxiing for the next 2 minutes, so please remain seated with your seatbelt
Get up
fastened
the
until the captain
flaps
turns
there.
on the fasten seatbelt sign. At that time, please remember to check around your seating area, in the seat pockets, and overhead bins for all personal belongings that
Let's
you brought on board.
turn to the right
Please take
or
care
left
when
here.
opening the overhead bins, as the contents may have shifted during flight.
Hello? Oh, okay, that's interesting. That's probably one thing. This airport has always been a mess when it comes to having it in the sim, especially with 2 towers. Luckily we don't have this now. We have exited the runway, so we can take off the strobes and landing lights, and we can keep these ones on. And then they should go back on when we cross a runway, but let's just be lazy and don't do that. And if we take a look at the taxi charts, we can actually use this one, which is here. Aha, awesome. So we will continue here on what looks like Bravo, or even we left Bravo 10 now and are now heading over to Charlie. I was about to say, yeah, Charlie. I was about to say Charles for some reason. Yeah, Charlie. And then we are going to head over to Foxtrot, which is the first to the right now. And then we will get over to the bridge, which hopefully won't do anything bad. It's known to, you know, have this bump where the plane just jumps into the air again. I want to be on the ground. I don't want to get up there again. And then we will head over to airside 4. Not sure what exact gate Norwegian is using, so we will just pick a random one. Turn on to the right here. I don't know if they use the same driving rules as on the road, if they drive on the right side. Well, we are doing the Norwegian way. We drive on the right side, you know, the correct side of the road, not the opposite like some of you guys are doing. Just kidding. And as we are airside 4, we can choose between gates 70 to 99, or 96, or 97 even. So let's see if GSX is still alive. Okay, you're doing the same as you always do. So gate, and then we have to scroll through every bit of them. How great. Let's just do 96 and no, and we shall have Alliance ground. Okay, let's just go a little bit slow over this one, just in case. Oh, there it is. That's all good though. Okay. See our GSX is down there, so we can take the right or the left even. Oh, what is it with me and direction today? Holy crap! Take to the left even. And what I have forgotten to do is start the APU, but we can do that now. I guess it's doesn't take that much time. I wonder if these, like these little lakes often get flooded. I feel like the airport is pretty badly placed. Like it's probably much flooding around, going around this time of year. That's probably how it is. Okay, we are actually having. Is that 96 over there? That's 96 there. So let's take off all the stuff there, and we shall smoothly roll onto the stand here. Forgot to take off the arc brake. There we go. APU is running. Beautiful. And do we have aircraft types here? No, we don't. Okay, for once in life, let's make GSX take us in, which is always interesting. How much longer are going to take us? I feel like we are. A little more, maybe. Let's just call it at 10. I think that's probably good. Right, parking brake is set. We have APU running. And we can take off our engines. And we can go up to the overhead panel here. And we can turn off the seatbelts and the beacon. And we have a block time of 8 hours and 31 minutes. Wow, I sound Norwegian. 31. So welcome everyone to a rather disgusting Florida and Orlando. And it's quite quiet outside here. Let's just go into the front here and admire our beautiful plane. And let's just remove Mr. GSX, and of course it does that as well. Hopefully it's deboarding. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah. External powers can go to on. We can open up our doors. Is it a jetway here? Yes, it is. Beautiful. Whoops. And let's just move over here. And yes, I know my Vipers are on, which they shouldn't be. I can see they start gathering around the cockpit. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I really like this one. It's really, really cool. Okay, so now the jetways are connected and GSX is starting to unload us. And for some reason they also want the door number 2 to get opened for some reason. But that's something we just have to live with. Okay, I can't find a nice spot here. Alright guys, that's the flight in the bag. That was one interesting flight indeed. This weather here is obviously not very good, but it's really cool to just check out how this thing flies. Definitely interesting. I don't know if the, for example, the 777 would have done it any better, but I digress. I've been having a lot of fun in this, and even though we probably should have gone around, we got down safely, chickening out with the ORBX 2. I hope you enjoyed this flight as much as I did, and thank you for everyone who gave out the suggestions. Sadly, I can't fly to Oslo because the stupid jetways there don't work. They won't connect to the Dreamliner, and I feel it's just pointless to fly there then. Maybe I'm just very, very special. I don't know. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. And I shall see you in the next one, which will probably be Lot Polish Airlines 3-4, which is suggested by Captain Vic, a good friend of mine from Hungary. So stay tuned for that. Hoping to get it out in a couple of days. then we probably have to fly this girl back to Gatwick as well. Alright, enough of me talking. I shall see you in the next one, and enjoy your rest of your day or evening or wherever you are. Goodbye!